my crafty friends. It is time for another week in our Art of Planning and Journaling setup. We're going to be using the new one today because we are planning our first week of October. I just wanted to finish out the rest of the insert from last month and kind of show you how that turned out. I know we have a few days left, but I'm going to show you guys anyway because that's what I do. And we'll walk through that together and be able to take a look at all the things. So let me show you that first before we dive into this week's layouts and spreads. And you guys can kind of see how this month has turned out. So here is the beginning, right? We added the coloring pages and those kinds of things. I want to give you a quick tip, though, when you guys are looking at this. If you want to color with colored pencils, do that first before you add any stickers on the subsequent pages because it will follow the lines of the stickers through the page with your colored pencil. Just a little FYI. This is laid out like a gratitude journal. So that's what I will be doing with this, finishing up the rest of this month for this one. You can kind of see how my month went. I had highlights, events happening, goals that I was working on. I didn't do so great in my self-help books. And so I need to be better about that. And then I did some changes with walking, planning. Again, I don't plan on the weekend, so that's fine. And I'm doing fine with no snoozing. I don't normally snooze anyway. So one line a day throughout the course of the month. Hello, Karen. We are on the last week of our weather tracker, so we are almost complete with that, and I'm excited to be bringing some new ideas with you. Step tracker, lots of fun things going on with that. I've gotten 3 done. I just don't have a picture in here yet, so I have at least one bingo line. I have a couple of other projects that I want to complete, but I did a created stone or faux pumpkins, stone pumpkins with the buckets, the little Halloween buckets. And then I made a candy corn pumpkin because it was too cute not to. This is my water tracker for the month, which is probably what next month's will be as well, because that seems to be the thing that I like to check off. We are going to a corn maze / pumpkin patch this weekend. So I'm going to get a couple more things checked off of here. I know that one of them is take a hayride because that's part of the adventure. So I'm excited for that. That's happening this weekend. So I'll get to check a couple of more things off. My favorite fall quotes, not to be confused with my favorite October quotes. Almost finished with my currently page. I have a couple more spots left for things that I've started and finished or completed. I'm going to leave this one photo spot is open for me to add on the next, the Saturday adventure that we're going on. So I'm going to leave that spot open. That goes there. But this is kind of some highlights of what happened for me over the course of September. I'll probably reuse the October one for that as well. I just finished coloring out these pages yesterday while I was watching Survivor. So the do more, do less of, I'll fill that in at the end, as well as what my highlights are and what my goals are for next month. That will all be filled out next week, so you guys can see that. All right. Moving into the planning of this month. This is the newest plans and journaling, or Art of Planning and Journaling. It is only available until September 30th. So we're excited for you to be able to see that. I have since added in my calendar. So I have my tip in with my little October, and I took this stencil and did a bunch of fun little leaves behind my little foxy guy. I just pen test page is what I use for, like, I'll show you this one. I pick all of the pens that I have that match the themes, and I kind of track them. You can also like use it to scribble to see if a pen works. I just like to do mine so I know what colors I used in the setup of what I'm going to be using throughout the course of the month. So I also have, for those that are in business stuff, I have my content plan. That's what I'm using this particular page for. In my journal, you're going to see that I am doing a Inktober in there. And that's all the pages I have set up until you get to right here, friends. And this is what we're working on today. So I went and found a bunch of things on Pinterest, mainly because I love the Tula 12 inserts. Don't get me wrong there, but sometimes I like to do some things a little bit different. So I was thinking maybe some different bullet journal pages that maybe you've seen on Pinterest and you want to kind of see how to create them. So that's what I did for you here. I changed it up a little bit. The picture on Pinterest had just a circle here, but I thought it would be really appropriate to do a pumpkin. So I did the pumpkin in between each one of these boxes. There are 8 boxes, all of them, they're exactly the same size. I believe it is 12 by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the boxes are 12 wide by 15 and an extra large. If you want to utilize that, you can do this in a regular dot grid or in this Art of Planning and Journaling. And then again, I switched the small little circle for the date and I put the pumpkin in there instead. We are going to dive into putting this together, friends. So I'm probably only going to use 6 boxes for dates. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then use these for to-do lists and task lists. That's how I envision setting it up. You can do whatever you choose with them, but what we're going to do now is going to spend some time just setting these up. So I went ahead and grabbed my Staedtler fine liner. This is just in a deep brown color. I have lots of different colors to choose from this month, way more than I had last month. So I'm excited about that part. But I always like to do the outline in a semi-dark-ish color just so that I can kind of see the lines clearly. Of course, I could have done this in like a purple or something else like that. And then my pen's not going to work. That's fun. So I might have to grab the purple. There we go. So I'm just going to spend some time doing this. And then I got 4 sets of color combinations to be able to do with our pumpkins. I showed you on Tuesday, in the video on Tuesday, how to do a color a pumpkin using the stencil, because we have a pumpkin stencil and we also received I don't know if you guys saw it, but there is a new Halloween stencil that also has a pumpkin on it and a haunted house, which I will probably be using in some layout at some point because I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. So I will probably be using that at some point. Oh. So this is going to be a fun layout to do. It'll quick and easy, 8 boxes with a little circle or a pumpkin, depending on what you want to add in there. Making it really easy to utilize. I did end up using last month's or last week's layout. I know I was skeptical about it. If you would, let me just show you what that turned out to be. I have some sticky notes on there, but let me pull those off of there and I'll show you kind of how that has gone so far in using it. It was a little difficult to adapt to, but this is kind of like what I envisioned when I grabbed it, was to have the to-do list at the top and then the information down the side. And then I like to move things as I complete them into the spot where I completed them. Some things are on my to-do list, some things are not. So I kind of like to just keep track of those kinds of things. So that's how it has been working so far. But we're just going to continue along with our, I'm going to wait to do those lines until after I add the pumpkins in. So yes, I am not normally a horizontal style. So if you know me well, you probably were like, yeah, right, Wendy, you're not going to love that. But I actually liked the layout and it worked really well. So this is more of a vertical and horizontal style, kind of, because the boxes are way fatter than what I normally use. But I'm excited to try this layout this week. as well. All right, let me grab my pumpkin stencil. Oh, I should have muted my phone because now it's going to send me a bunch of messages. All right, so I'm going to trace around each one of these cutesy little pumpkins. And then we'll go back and add the lines on afterwards. And erase where necessary. I'll have to get out my handy dandy little vacuum cleaner again today. We're just going to trace these around. These are a good place for you to put dates in. If you opt to use the little pumpkins, you can add the days of the week in there. You can add the date. I will probably do a date and then add the day of the week around the top. We'll see. We got plenty of time to figure it out while we are putting this together this week. I mentioned I am going to a pumpkin patch this weekend, and my oldest college student was supposed to come down and hang out with me, and he has to work. And then my husband told me last night that my middle son was going to surprise me and come down and go with us, but then he had to he has track practice that he can't get out of, and track practice is paying for school, so I can't really argue with that a whole lot. But it was nice of him to have the gesture to come and attempt. I was excited that he was going to come in and try to surprise us, but things happen. So it will just be my husband, my youngest, and myself, and we will have a grand time hanging out, doing the things. My youngest son is most looking forward to, they have these really big slides that you ride on, like burlap sacks down the slide or pillowcases down the slide. I don't even remember what it is. It's been so long since I've been. And that's what he's most looking forward to, is going down the slide. You have to go down the slide and then get up and go back down the slide and then climb up the stairs and do it again. I can imagine we will be there for a very long time. But I'm going to do the corn maze, and I'm going to do hayride. They have a new, let me grab some water here. They have a new zinnia farm, or some kind of flower that they haven't had before. So I'm excited to see that as well. I'm just erasing all the pencil marks. So pardon my shake while I erase all the pencil lines. And then we will dive into decorating our pumpkins, coloring our border. It's going to be fun. And then I'll get this vacuumed up and we will start coloring. I had to attempt this yesterday a couple of times. That's why I like to pencil it in before I get here with you guys, so that you don't have to watch that process. All right. Okay, we're ready for some color. So I picked 4 colors. That way I can use them on this page and then this page. So I'm going to do an orange pumpkin, a blue pumpkin, a pink pumpkin, and a purple pumpkin. That is my plan. So we're going to do the orange ones first. I'm using Zig and Stampin' Write markers for these. I'm not going to color the stems because I'll come back and color those later, so that they're all the same. And I'll probably add leaves or something on there. So if you remember last time, we're going to do color them one direction and then color the other. And no, I'm not talking about, about music one direction. I like to outline first. And then after I do the outline, I go through and color them with the markers facing one direction and then the other direction, and that kind of gives us the shape of our pumpkin. Oh, my phone's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to do all of my base colors first, and then we'll come back and do the, oh my gosh, my phone. If it was easy for me to take off and turn off, I would do that, but it's going to be, okay, hold on. I'm going to have to switch my screen because this is going to drive me crazy. There we go. There we go. That was going to drive me nuts. I don't know if you guys could hear all that buzzing, but it's frustrating when you're trying to concentrate and somebody's like buzz, buzz, buzz. And it's probably just spam email or junk email. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so cute. I like the little pink pumpkin. So this is, if you use Zig markers, this is baby pink. I had to retire 2 of my markers last night as I was finishing up the pages from last month's pages from the last month's art of planning and journaling, because they had done their best, but they had no more life in them. So I retired 2 markers. Of course, let me remind you that my Zig markers are very old markers. They're like 20 plus years old. I've had them for a very long time. So as I retire them, it's a good excuse for me to get new markers, and you can't go wrong getting new markers, right, friends? I need an excuse to buy new markers, and that's because my old markers are dying, which is a great reason to get new things. I'm not going to complain about that one bit. So this is our blue pumpkin. Remember, we're going to do, to add our dimension, we're going to do the lightest color in the background. And then we'll come back and add in the dimension and the highlighting and the stem and all that good stuff. So this is our purple pumpkin. And now I could have left the circle on here and just done the pumpkin around it. And then I could have wrote the date in there. I didn't even think about that, but it is what it is. It will be all right, no matter how we choose to do it. And then I'm going to grab, after I get finished with this, I'm going to grab that same brown that I used to do the outlining with. First, I'm going to grab my brown marker to do stems. I did not grab that one when I was grabbing all the other ones. So we're just adding our little stem. On the stem part, I take it out past the bottom and then kind of flare it a little bit, just like an actual pumpkin would be. because the stem doesn't just go straight in there. It has that nice little patch at the top that kind of goes out in all directions. So that's what I'm doing with the stem here is I'm pulling it down, going along the edge, and then giving it a little bit of flair. That gives our pumpkin that, look that it's not just carbon copy pumpkin. It like has some dimension to it. Even though they're all the exact same, and we know that's not true, right? No, not all pumpkins are created equally. I didn't even grow pumpkins this year. I'm kind of sad about it now, but last year they took over my garden and it was not okay. So we're going to take these little bumps at the bottom, and this is what's going to help us to add the little bit of shadowing. So I'm just going to use those as a way to like create some lines that go up. And remember, we're going to do a little curvy pattern with them so they look very similar to an actual pumpkin. So that we're going to add, and we're going to take those right up into the stem. And you're going to do around one side, and then the other side is going to go the other direction. Again, one direction and then the other direction. And then we're going to come back and trace over these lines in the darker colors that we brought with us to use for the outlining or the shading of the pumpkin. And then we're going to add the dates, the day of the week, into the center. I can't wait to see everybody's pumpkins. I love pumpkins. I love Halloween. I had to figure out what I'm going to do. We paint our pumpkins every year. I used to carve, and they don't last as long. And so I started painting them, which makes me so much happier. And we get to paint them. I'm a much better painter than I am a carver. And we usually paint them based off of whatever my youngest son is dressing up as. So for the last couple of years, the pumpkins have been Pokemon characters. And he's going to be a Pokemon character again this year. So you'll probably be another Pokemon character. All right. So we've done our outline. Now we're going to grab our darker color, and then we're just going to go over those lines, and that's what's going to add that dimension and shading to our pumpkin. And then we will come back with some white and add the little highlights. But before we do that, we're going to actually write our dates in before we add the highlighting. So we're going to do the shading. And then we'll add the highlighting. And then we'll add, I want to add some leaves and vines, I think. And this pen is dying as well. I noticed that yesterday when I was doing something else. I was like, oh no, my denim marker is dying. All right, let's add our dates on here. So Monday is the 30th. So I'm just going to write 30 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do 5 and 6. And this is going to say to do and to do. Then I have both of them there. And then I'm going to put on here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right. I think it needs a little more color. So what we're going to do first is I want to add some leaves. Where's my green marker at? There it is. Add some little viney vines. This will help a little bit. Then I think I want to outline my boxes. And this one's going to go both ways. So I have room to go both ways. Okay. And then I want to use this and a little trick with these. And I want to use my, so that I can show you. If you press them down with the point and then the broad, you're going to get a nice little leaf shape. So I'm just going to do that with each one of these and just add, I know that these are not the kind of pumpkin leaves that we have, but I don't want to spend time drawing an actual pumpkin leaf. So we're just going to use this instead. I don't want to get technical and fancy. That we don't need to be all technical and fancy. I just want to add some leaves. Somebody else can be technical and fancy and then show me, because I will be thoroughly impressed. I don't like the shape of pumpkin leaves. I don't know what that is about, but all right. Okay, I want to add a little more color. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our, I don't want to do the darker color, the lightest color, and we're going to outline the boxes with them. I need to have a little more color in my life, friends. That's the way I do. Now I could obviously add stickers or washi tape or whatever, but this is an easy fix because the marker is right here, readily available. And I'm beginning to like this more as well. Yes, I like this much better. Okay, something you should know about markers. If you're using a stencil, always use a tissue or a napkin or something to wipe up the excess so that you don't get it onto the next marker that you are using, which in this case is the pink marker. I feel like this pink marker is dying as well. I'm going to have to go get new markers. It's a travesty. Just kidding. I knew it was going to happen eventually, but that means that they lived the life that they were intended to live, and they didn't just get thrown out because they didn't have any value. There's pink. You'll love it, Mandy. Isn't it fun? I love it. I think it turned out so fun. And I'm not going to take time to do it while we're on here, but I'm going to color the top too. You guys will get to see it all finished on Monday. But we'll do this part together, and then I'll finish the rest after we're done. So cute layout, cute Pinterest layout. You guys go to Pinterest and find a cute, fun layout that you love and grab the Art of Planning and Journaling insert and try something new. Try something fun. Try something that you wouldn't normally use. Yes, it really did, Sherry. It made all the difference. I feel like adding this pop of color made it like pop off the page. And again, it'll look fantastic once I mean, it'll look great once I get the added to the top as well so that that's colored, but I'm just not going to spend time having you guys watch me do that today. Time is valuable. But yes, this definitely made all the difference adding the outlining the boxes because I think it like helped the page feel like bam. I love it. We're almost done with today, friends. I can't wait for you to dive into your Art of Planning and Journaling insert as soon as it gets here to do all the fun things with it. And I can't wait for you guys to see. It all finished. All right, you guys, that's it for today. This is what we ended up with for our layout for the day or for the week. 8 quick boxes, 12 across, 15 down. Used the little pumpkin stencil to create the date at the top. I'll go ahead and color in the banner, but you can see it's so cute. It's going to be a lot of fun planning. So 30th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then to-do lists on the end. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait for you to dive in and share with me all the things. I look forward to hanging out with you here, and hopefully I can get the Art of Planning the card sketch stuff done today so that I'm not trying to do it when I have a massive headache like I did last week. Have a fantastic week, you guys, and I will see you all very soon.